Uh, what year is it? Is it 2020 yet? So, I just wanted to do a bit of a discussion video, commentary, whatever hell you want to call it. It's not even really anything big, just something I really wanted to talk about with you guys and see what your guys' thoughts are on all this. So, I'm sure you guys all know that Sin Cara, whether it be yesterday or 2 days ago, just asked for his release from WWE. And he posted a note to Twitter, all this kind of stuff, thanking the company and all his fans and the support and all that kind of stuff. And then, like, it might have been an hour later. It was not that long. It was not a long period of time after that the rumor and news came out that he got denied his request. And I was just like, I'd be lying to myself if I said I didn't see it coming. But I did. It was. Here's the thing. We live in a society. No, not that kind of society. We live in a world where there's so much wrestling going on, and wrestling is so hot at the moment that WWE is. I don't want to say they're afraid or they're scared, but they're aware of the situation going on around them with AEW, of course. They have New Japan of America to worry about next year. They have TNA that's now on TV. I'm sure they're not worried about it, but they're aware of TNA. They're aware of the British Indies, which is why they're taking over with NXT UK. They're aware of all the independent wrestling scene and just how booming it is right now, at least in the wrestling community. They're aware of all that kind of stuff. And they're also aware that their name value is in their wrestlers. The wrestlers are their investment. And they, whether you believe that they bury a lot of their NXT talent or they bury people they don't believe in, every single wrestler under the WWE umbrella is their investment, and they have to protect their investment. So when somebody wants to leave the company, they're a bit worried about that. And I'm not defending them at all. I'm just trying to explain it from their viewpoint, at least how I see it. WWE sees it as, if we let you leave, you'll go somewhere else with our notoriety, our name, and you'll make them money, and you'll give them viewers because you came from our company. We're number one. So we can't have that happen. Now, if we lived in a different period of time, like maybe even 2 or 3 years ago when there was no AEW and the indie scene was just the indie scene, and the UK scene was just the UK scene, and Impact was the bottom of the barrel in the wrestling community, I'm sure Sin Cara would have been released, but it's just not that period of time anymore, and it's really sad. It's really sad that the state of the wrestling world is contingent on whether you're going to get released from a contract or not. And it's got to be really frustrating for these guys who are forced to sit under this company that they're very much just looming in, and they don't want to be there. They go to work every day, they do their job, and they go home. Everyone knows. Everyone has had a job or has a job where you work and you go there to get the paycheck, but you're not really there. You don't really care to be there. You don't like being there. Maybe you hate the place. Imagine doing it and having to put your body in line every single night for a place that you don't even want to work. And I'm sure you like the coworkers and you like doing it because that's always been your dream, to be on TV and have fans, all that kind of stuff, but you just hate the environment and you want to go, and there's another company that can give you that same thing, possibly more money and a better environment, and you might want to go there. You might not want to go there. Maybe he wants to go to AAA, maybe he wants to go to somewhere else, but because there is this other company that is trying to creep up behind you. They're doing really good ratings. They're doing better ratings at NXT every single week. They're not coming close to doing Raw or SmackDown ratings, but maybe someday they could get up there. Who knows? There's that chance they can go over there and give them the boost, give them the ratings, give them the notoriety, give them the money. So they're not going to want to take the chance on it. And Sin Cara is not a big name. Let's not sit here and pretend that Sin Cara is like Sin Cara from 2011. Sin Cara in 2019 is, somebody to just have on a roster, but they don't want to take that chance, so they didn't release him. And you can even not look at the Sin Cara issue. You can look at Mike Kanellis. And I feel like Mike Kanellis in his situation, I couldn't even feel bad for him. Because didn't he request his release earlier where he was talking about, oh, I'm so displeased with WWE, I want to leave and all this kind of stuff. And everyone was like, oh, yeah, well, you know, hopefully they release you or whatnot. And his contract was coming up. He wasn't talking about being released. His contract was coming up, and his wife or he was counting down the days, like they're ready to get released. They're ready to go out and go back to Ring of Honor, or go to All Elite Wrestling and this and that. And then what happened? They resigned. They resigned for however many years. Now, mind you, Mike Kanellis was already being treated like dog shit before. With the whole 24/7 crap and Maria Kanellis, you know, raking him over the coals with her being pregnant. You guys remember that storyline? That whole stupid, oh, you're not a real man storyline that now they're doing with Rusev. For some reason, they just like to berate their talent. That's exceptional television, I guess, to them. And they thought that was okay, and he obviously had no choice but to go through with it because that's his job. It's either go through with it or don't be on TV. So he went through with it, and he waited out the days for his contract, and he re-signed with the company. And it's just like, well, bro, what the fuck? Didn't you want to leave? Okay, I guess it wasn't that bad then. Then, like, a month or two later, he asked for his release. It's like, well, I can't really feel bad if they say no to you, because it's like, well, you had the chance to leave, and you didn't. Sin Cara's case, this is the first time I've actually seen him try to ask for his release, so I hope he does, and they didn't. Luke Harper. You know, the guy has just been looming for the longest time. Even when he was with the Bludgeon Brothers, Luke Harper has kind of always had this glass ceiling. Like, you see that he's in this tag division with Eric Rowan, and that's about it. The only time I've ever seen Luke Harper get a singles run was with Dolph Ziggler in the IC run in like 2014, and that's it. Luke Harper has never really gotten above that level. Maybe that feud, that kind of, sort of, intertwined feud he had with Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt in 2017, but even then, it was still a glass ceiling. He was never going to become WWE champion. And to this day, he probably will never become WWE champion. And he asked for his release, and they said no. And what is he doing now? I don't know, 24/7 stuff? I don't know how to watch for SmackDown. You could even say Sasha Banks, who didn't straight up ask for her release, but she straight up just walked out of the company. You know, she didn't walk out, but she took a leave of absence. And she's always posting her really sappy, oh, woe is me stuff on Twitter. And, oh, one day I'll get back to this. Her very inspirational tweets that are basically her trying to plead and wanting to get out of her contract or go here or there. And, she realized that I can't take the Neville route. We all know the Neville route. I can't take the Neville route because they're not going to release me, and I'm just going to have my contract frozen, so I might as well go. The Revival. Didn't they ask? I don't know if they asked for the release, or they did ask for the release. The Revival asked for their release, and they said no. And the Revival are now the tag team champions, but they're going to end up leaving, whether it be whenever their contracts are up sometime next year or whatever, they're going to leave. And I hope they do leave. And it's just really sad to think about it, that all these guys... And I like to think that all these guys don't want to just leave and go to All Elite Wrestling. They're all legitimately upset and just very disappointed and don't want to be there anymore, and they want to go somewhere else, and they are forced to stay there. It really makes you think about WWE and what their morals are. It's like, do we really care about these guys, or are they just pawns in the little game of chess we're playing? I mean, I feel like WWE just sees those wrestlers as pawns in a chess game. They don't see them as real people, because if they did, they would release these people and let them go wherever they want to go. They have plenty of talent to use. If they don't have talent in Raw or SmackDown, they have a shitload of guys in NXT they can use. Case in point, the NXT invasion on Raw and SmackDown. So there is no reason for why they're not... I don't think there is a clear reason for why they don't want to release this guy or that guy. They don't have one to come forward with. They just don't want to release them because they don't want them to go anywhere and be successful without them. They don't want them to go somewhere else and possibly carry over the fans that they had. I mean, look at the Jimmy Uso, Jey Uso situation. Look at the Jeff Hardy situation. These guys are getting DUIs left and right. They're giving the company a bad name. They could possibly go on the road and maybe even kill somebody. Which is you know, you don't want to think about that, but it's a very real possibility that they could hop on a road one day, shit-faced drunk, swerve, maybe kill somebody, maybe even kill themselves or hurt somebody else. They haven't, but it's a possibility. And you would think after so many DUIs and so many, you know, TMZ news video leaks that this company would fire them or release them or fine them. But nothing seems to happen except for tweets saying they're responsible for their own actions. And it's like, if this were not 2019 and wrestling were not as on fire as it is within the wrestling community with all these different options to watch, would they have been fired by now, or would WWE really be putting up with their bullshit? And I firmly believe WWE would have fired Jeff Hardy by now. They would have released, maybe they wouldn't have fired Jeff Hardy, I think they probably would have released Jimmy Uso by now. If it weren't for AEW, if it weren't for New Japan, its boom period in America, if it weren't for, you know, TNA or Impact Wrestling or whatever. It's really just sad that they are letting these guys get away with this. And who am I to say that, oh, these guys should be fired? You know, I don't work in public relations. I don't know exactly what constitutes somebody being fired. I just know that if I were WWE and these guys were putting my company's reputation on the line, that by try number 2 and number 3, you would have been fired by now. But that's just me. For WWE, I guess you could just make as many mistakes as you want, and that's fine. Just as long as, you know, you don't hurt anybody, because they haven't actually hurt anybody yet. It's the DUIs, it's the releases, it's all this stuff that makes you really look at the company in a bad moral aspect. And this is part of the reason why I just can't call myself a WWE fan anymore. I'm a wrestling fan. I cannot a WWE fan. And it's not just the, oh, WWE, they put on shitty television, because they do. They really do. Or, oh, the whole Hell in a Cell incident is why I unsubscribed. Yes, that was a good majority of the reason why, but it's the moral outlook that this company has that really makes me question it. I mean, the Saudi Arabia incident. Saudi Arabia. The Jamal Khashoggi incident that everyone just seems to forget about and push under the rug 1 year later. Everyone just seemed to forgot about that. That they slaughtered and dismembered a U.S. reporter, a reporter for the Washington Post, because he spoke out against Saudi Arabia, and they killed him. And everyone was up in arms about it and saying, oh, cancel Crown Jewel, this and that. And it's not a factor, you know. They're going to go back. They're going to do their shows. They extended out their deal. The wrestlers were held for hours upon end without being let in. I didn't even really talk about that, but wrestlers being held on a plane for hours on end because of a dispute between Vince McMahon and the Saudi prince. That's okay, I guess, for them to do and get away with. And everyone's okay with that. I mean, people were up in arms about that too, but guess what? In just a few months, people are going to forget about it. It's going to be a nothing news factor, just like everything is. Everything is, you know, the hot topic for the moment, but then a few months later, it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything anymore. In a few months, you'll forget about it, and then you'll go back to watching Crown Jewel. This is part of the reason why I don't qualify myself as a WWE fan. You know, I'm watching Survivor Series for NXT, not for Raw and SmackDown. And I like to believe this. I'm not a hypocrite when I say I don't support WWE or watch WWE as much. I just watch NXT. That's about it. If NXT weren't a part of Survivor Series this year, I would not be watching Survivor Series. And you can quote me on that. You don't have to believe me, but I honestly wouldn't. Like, I honestly wouldn't be. I didn't watch the last pay-per-view WWE did. I didn't watch Crown Jewel. I don't watch Crown Jewel pay-per-views after the Jamal Khashoggi incident. I just don't. And I'm not trying to persuade you to stop watching WWE or give up on WWE, but I want all of you to really think about it and really sit hard and think on the moral aspect, the moral outlook on this company, because it's really questioning at times about how they treat their roster, and just everything they do is just questioning to me nowadays. And I feel weird sometimes watching NXT because I know it's under the WWE umbrella. It's a WWE product. And the more I watch NXT, the more I feel like I'm still supporting it. But I don't want to give up on NXT because they produce such great television. And there's guys that I like there and guys I want to see succeed. But it's like, how much more do I really want to put up with WWE? You know? Royal Rumble comes around. And I always get genuinely excited for the Rumble because that's my favorite pay-per-view for any wrestling company or industry or whatever the hell. Like, I genuinely always get excited for month of January because there's Wrestle Kingdom, there's Rumble. Like, it's just a genuinely exciting time to be a wrestling fan. After January, my excitement for anything remotely related to WWE just kind of slips off until WrestleMania. And I don't really get excited for WrestleMania anymore. I really don't. I was in New York City for WrestleMania 35 last year. That was my first ever WrestleMania weekend. I was in that city for WrestleMania, and I went to Bloodsport. I went to Joey Janela's Spring Break. I went to G1 Supercard. I went to and attended a bunch of things, but I did not attend WrestleMania. I just couldn't. Not only did I think it was too expensive, not worth my money, but I just couldn't find myself to buy a ticket. And I was right there. I literally could have caught an Uber, could have drove, could have caught the bus. Didn't go. And, you know, Tampa is where they're home WrestleMania this year. And I see tickets are on sale this Friday, and I think to myself, you know, I've never actually been to WrestleMania. I could scratch off my bucket list. But I'm like, do I really want to go and support this company and buy a ticket to WrestleMania? I really don't know if I want to do that. And I have to say, I don't think I am going to do that. If I go to Tampa this year, I probably won't buy a ticket to WrestleMania. Again, I probably will buy a ticket to For the Culture. I'll probably buy a ticket to Joey Janela's Spring Break 4. I'll probably buy a ticket to Bloodsport. I'll probably buy a ticket to whatever wrestling show going on in that realm of Tampa that interests me. But I don't think I would be going and buying a ticket to WrestleMania. Because I just can't support what they're doing. Or what this company does, or how they treat their talent. The Rusev situation. I don't want to talk about that, but I'll leave it up to you guys. I want to see a discussion start in the comment section about WWE, and not even just the way they treat their talent. I mean, the way they book their talent, but just overall as a company as a whole. How do you guys perceive WWE in this point in your life? Is it just an outlet for you to watch wrestling? Is it something that you love to watch? Is it something that's just there? Do you not watch WWE anymore? Have you casted it off? I want to know what you guys think. Comment down below. I want to see what the public opinion is. This is just a video I wanted to do and really just see where everyone's head is with WWE, because I really was thinking about it yesterday and I'm like, well, do I want to buy a ticket to WrestleMania this year? Probably not. Anyway, that's it. I'm not going to make too many edits to this video. I want it to be as raw and as honest as possible. Probably won't be too many cuts or anything, but yeah. That's it. Love you guys always, and I'll see you all for tomorrow's Wednesday night war stream that we do every single Wednesday, where I do live reaction to AEW and NXT, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. See you all there, guys. Peace out.